Welcome to your latest Nottingham Forest news. Coming up on today's episode, Italiano rejects Nottingham Forest. Why we believe Lyon have to buy Mangala. Marinakis enlists the services of Mendes yet again. And Felipe says goodbye for the final time. All this and plenty more coming up today on your Forest news. Let's get into it. Good morning, good evening, or good night. I hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to your latest Forest news. Please don't forget to hit the like button. You guys have been killing it. Dare I ask for 800? You look down below and it doesn't say, it says less than 800. Make sure you've hit that like button and subscribe if you're new to Forest Fan TV. Let's start with Italiano. I mean, what a name. Would it surprise you if I told you he wasn't even born in Italy? He was born in Germany. Manager of Fiorentina, been there since 21, if memory serves me correct, with a win percentage of about 47.5%. Finishing currently at the moment in 8th, and will be playing Olympiacos in the final of the Europa Conference Cup League, Mickey Mouse thing, whatever it's called. And there's been, let me rewind before I tell you why he's rejected, so you understand the backstory to it, because this is kind of broken over yesterday afternoon. Basically, apparently, Marinakis is an admirer of Italiano, and he is going to get to see him firsthand against Olympiacos. And then what does Marinakis do in a cup final with the manager's opposition? Huddersfield. Oh yeah, he took their manager, sent him to Olympiacos and sacked him a few weeks later. Maybe he's going to do the opposite here with Nottingham Forest. But Italiano himself doesn't want to leave Italy according to reports, and therefore wants to hold out for something like the Napoli role. Now what's really fascinating is that if Fiorentina win against Olympiacos, then potentially you're going to have half of Serie A in Europe next season. Go Google it. If you don't believe me, go Google it. Anyway, we're not here for that. We're not here for that. But we still need to rewind even further, because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm getting sick to death of talking about who the new Forest manager is when we've currently got a Forest manager who doesn't even need to or want to be sacked by the likes of Marinakis. And it's just causing, it bothers me a lot. I'm not going to lie to you. Even when Cooper was still in charge and I wanted him gone, I wasn't there sitting there saying, let's get this person, let's get that person, let's get the other. I always feel that, you know, when it comes to the final days, the embers are just about lit on the candle and what have you, then fine. But the press is absolutely going crazy with this. And not just with Forest, with managers in general right now in the Premier League. I mean, Vinny Company's ended up at Bayern. You got Kieran McKenna about to ditch Ipswich for either Chelsea or Man U or Brighton. And then you got Forest, who have still got Nuno, who have a manager, who are looking for a manager. Why? Because I still feel my hunch is correct, that it's Nuno who's contemplating his options here. And if he's going to go, I want you to stay, Nuno. I keep saying this all week. But just go if you want to go so we can move on as a club. The club's always going to be more important to me than whoever the manager is that's in charge. But the thing that's making me start to believe these stories and rumours is there's also reports coming out. I think Sarah Clapson put it out there that Nuno has gone Jorge Mendes, who we know is also Nuno's agent. And he's told Mendes to basically give him a shortlist of managers that he would recommend for the Forest job. Honestly, this is just typical Forest. It's getting so messy right now. And something has to give way. Either Nuno has to, not openly, but behind closed doors, just say to Marinakis, I'm here for the long run. I want to see out the next 2 years of my contract or whatever it is. Let's crack on and let's talk about players coming in and out, etc. and objectives for next year. Or he's just got to come out and say to Marinakis, I want to go. And it just makes me feel that Nuno himself may be waiting for a domino to fall in another managerial position so he can get that choice, be it if he wants to go back home to Portugal or if he wants to go to Spain or maybe somewhere else, who knows. But what's clear about all of this is there are definitely certain things happening behind the scenes that Nuno isn't probably happy with. And I say the word probably because I don't know. I don't know for sure on this one. But we do have a track record of it. Many managers have been nearly Forest managers and walked away, be it under the old Fawaz regime. Sometimes people find Marinakis quite hard to work with. And maybe that's where we are with Nuno. That's all speculation right now. But there's just too many things being thrown in the fire. Too much, petrol being chucked and fanning those flames to make them higher. For me to think something's not going on right now. Yet I still trust what I'm hearing from the people I'm talking to, that there's no real desire from the club side to move Nuno on. And it almost, if it's true, let me caveat this by saying if it's true that Nuno is the one maybe contemplating or pushing or whatever the case may be, then I'm sorry, you need to go. If you've even got doubts in your mind, you're kind of turning me off you a little bit. And I've backed you since the day you walked in. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, as always, down below. Alrighty, let's leave the manager merry-go-round to one side for a second and talk about something else that's extremely cryptic. And I think Forest are about to get themselves at least £20 million. And that's on Mangala. Why? Because we know he wants to move to Lyon and we know there is an option to buy. But we've been doing some digging and looking back at the wording of the deal that came from Romano. I'm just going to bring it up on screen for you so you guys can see it for yourselves, but let me quote it to you. So this was back when we sold him on loan, or loaned him out, should I say, to Lyon in the January window. And Romano said, final updated deal of RL Mangala, deal for Olympic Lyon. Nottingham Forest will receive £10 million, not euros, in a loan fee plus 20 million guaranteed buy option. There are also 3 million in add-ons and a 10% sell-on clause included in the deal. So, why am I saying this? Because the talk for the last week or two has been about an option to buy. Now, Romano's usually right. Like, I would say he's right 98 out of 100 times. And he's talking about a guaranteed sale fee. And I think there would have been a couple of stipulations in there because at the time we sold, or loaned out again, should I say, Mangala to Lyon, they were battling for potential relegation. Now they staved that off and they did a lot better in the league. Did they qualify for Europe? I can't remember. But I think that was the only clause put in on this. And this is important. Why? Because if Forest get this £20 million, keep it their pounds, and we know that Forest are at least 15 million away from the dotted line on PSR, this could potentially solve a lot of the issues. Now, the total there you're looking at is 30 million plus the 3 in add-on, so you're looking at 33 million. That's a cracking deal. And Forest paid about 11 million for Mangala when we bought him. But that in itself, one, we didn't have to pay the whole thing on PSR. You're looking at the 10 million loan fee would have cleared that anyway. So the 20 million coming in, by my estimations and my YouTube accountancy degree, that clears Forest. And that's pretty much clean profit now on Mangala. And if this is the case, I've got to say this is a great deal for Nottingham Forest. I don't care if Ant and Crypto are crying away in the background. I agree with them. I never have not. He's good enough to play in the team. But this will clear Forest and it will make a huge difference. Now, I may be getting ahead of myself. Forgive me if I am. But think about it like this. If Mangala clears our deficit to PSR, where we just need to get to the 30th of June and then we become, if you like, a fully fledged Premier League team on a level playing field with everyone else. Because remember, the 105 rule still actually applies for the next 12 months. Then Forest can and don't have to, should I say, sell Murillo or Morgan Gibbs-White, one at all or two at a panic price. Now, we know there's been plenty of interest in Morgan Gibbs-White. We're not doing a Morgan Gibbs-White video today, thank God. I love him, but there's only so much I can take talking about the same player. But my point here is that Forest value him at 70 million. Now, I'm not saying we won't sell them, but we may not have to sell them in a panic cut price deal. That's the key point to this Mangala deal. So if someone were to come in and try and lowball us at 40, 50 million, whatever it is, Forest can stick 2 fingers up at them. And the same with Murillo. I'm just not convinced now that we won't sell one of them. And it just feels like Morgan Gibbs-White is tipping ahead in the race of going. And that's just in my opinion. Again, no ITK on that one at all. So I think this Murillo deal, based on what Romano has said, is a guaranteed sale. And it will go through most likely before the 30th of June. Once the transfer window opens up, I can't remember the date of it, probably at the start of June, this could clear Forest up. But how do you guys read this tweet? Let me know in the comments down below, because option to buy versus guaranteed is a huge world of difference. Get your thoughts in on this one. I'll be interested to see what you guys say. Okay, let's move on to the Felipe story. But if you haven't already, before we do, get your tissues out. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And I'm not going to lie to you, and I don't care how much you don't want to take the piss out of me in the comments. I couldn't bring myself to watch it. I got like a minute into it and I was like, can't do this. I can't do this. Not because I'm so sad of seeing Felipe going, just because there's in subtitles, man. And I hate reading subtitles. That's why I didn't watch it. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. But Felipe is officially gone. He won't be coming back. No more seeing him in the, the items of clothing in the club shop or anything like that. He's gone. He's gone. And on that sad bombshell, we'll end the video. We'll see you on the next one. I'm going to go find some Kleenexes. Make sure you like when you Reds.